important word on that list is purpose. The core of the party has to feel that the party serves a purpose. It is there for a purpose that they can get excited about. But look how different the second list is. I'd like to think in terms of impact. The brand, in order to appeal to the crowd, has to inspire, motivate, be positive, appealing, connect with people, and the most important quality that has to engender is to build trust. We're operating in a low trust environment, and how do we build trust? By communicating with people in ways that they can relate to. So I put up on the screen here all of the components that might go into a rebranding effort to find balance, the core and the crowd. On the top left are the 6 P's of the core. On the top right, impact. On the bottom left, what we have to avoid when we're branding our party, and that is to be flawed. Fringe ideas, lacking relevance, ambiguous, introducing weaknesses, lacking in evidence, and diluted to an extreme. If your brand is completely diluted, then don't expect the core to be too excited about it. And then on the other side, what to avoid with respect to branding for the crowd is bland. Boring, long-winded, alienating, or too narrow-casted and disconnected. The first word that I want to draw your attention to there is boring. We can't be boring. In a world dominated by this, we can't afford to be boring. Attention spans are simply too short. That doesn't mean we have to do every wacky idea that someone in a campaign office talks about, but we can't be boring. We have to get right to the point. There's value in going through this process, even though it may be difficult to find that. And I want to quote Republican President Dwight Eisenhower, who said, "In preparing for battle, I've always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable." Going through a process of refreshing your party's brand produces all types of benefits because it sensitizes you to things that you might have otherwise taken for granted. Here's my favorite Elon Musk quote. "The most common error of a smart engineer is to optimize a thing which should not exist." And I would argue that this is not the way to rebrand a party. This is more commonly used in newsrooms and political science department classes than in actual campaign offices when we're thinking about how we're going to communicate and how we're going to reach people. I'm happy to send you a copy of this presentation or anything else. That QR code will give you my contact information. We'll send you the whole slide deck. This is only the 15-minute version of a much longer version, but I put this together in order to introduce the topic, and now I'd like to ask our panelists to come forward. So thank you very much. I hope that was helpful, and now let's welcome our panel. Thank you.